Numerical problem. Question. A person throws a ball straight up with a speed of 12 meter per second. If the bus is moving at 25 meter per second, what is velocity of the ball to an observer on ground? We need to calculate the resultant velocity and we have two components along x-axis and along y-axis of velocity. So magnitude of resultant velocity can be calculated from the formula v is equals to square root vx square plus vy square. Putting the values of components of velocity along x-axis and along y-axis and solving, we get v is equals to 28 meter per second. This is the resultant velocity of the ball to an observer on ground. For calculating the direction, theta is equals to tan inverse 12 divided by 25. By solving, we get theta is equals to 26 degree. Question. A 1.84 kg school bag hangs in the middle of a clothesline, causing it to sag by an angle of theta is equals to 3.50 degree. Find the tension in the clothesline. Here we have a clothesline and weight of school bag is 1.84 kg, which is hanging from the middle of this clothesline. Due to this weight, there is tension in this clothesline, and because tension is a vector, so we can have its components. It has two components along x-axis and along y-axis. Along x-axis, its component is t cos theta, and along y-axis its component is t sine theta. Solution. It can be solved by conditions of equilibrium. We know that first condition of equilibrium is summation of all the forces is equals to 0. So summation of all the forces along x-axis must be equals to 0. So here along x-axis we have only two forces, t cos theta in this direction and t cos theta in this direction. They are opposite to each other. That's why one t cos theta must be negative and another must be positive. So they are equal to each other. Let's say it equation number 1. Summation of forces along y-axis is equals to 0. Along y-axis we must have all the forces. Summation of all the forces is equals to 0. Along y-axis we have t sine theta in upward direction and t sine theta in upward direction, so they both must be same, having same sign, and weight of the body, that is mg, is downward along negative y-axis, so it must be opposite in sign. So we have t sine theta plus t sine theta minus mg is equals to 0. Putting the value of theta, mass and g, we get tension T is equals to 148 Newton. So this is the tension in the cloth line. The magnitude of dot and cross product of two vectors 6 under root 3 and 6 respectively. Find the angle between the vectors. Magnitude of dot product as a dot b is equals to ab cos theta. That is equals to 6 under root 3. Let's say it equation number 1. And magnitude of cross product a cross b is equals to ab sin theta, and that is given as 6. So ab sin theta is equals to 6. Let's say it equation number 2. To find angle between vectors a and b, divide equation 2 by equation number 1, and by solving we get AB sin theta divided by AB cos theta is equals to 6 divided by 6 under root 3. 6 is cancelled by 6. AB is cancelled by AB. We know the trigonometric relation sin theta divided by cos theta is equals to tan theta. So tan theta is equals to 1 upon under root 3. Theta is equals to 30 degree. Question. A 4-meter long uniform ladder with weight of 120 Newton leans against a wall making 70-degree angle above a cement floor as shown. Assuming the wall is frictionless but the floor is not, determine the forces exerted on the ladder by the floor and by the wall. According to conditions of equilibrium, as first condition of equilibrium, summation of all the forces is equals to 0. Summation of forces along x-axis is equals to 0. Here we have a ladder and this ladder is 4-meter long and it is making an angle 70 degree while leaning with the wall, and this wall is frictionless but this floor is not frictionless. There are different forces applying on this ladder. Force of wall on this ladder in this direction, normal force on ladder in this direction, horizontal force in this direction, and weight of the ladder is downward, that is equals to 120 Newton. On horizontal axis there are forces F horizontal and F wall, that is force of wall. Along y-axis all the forces must be equal to 0, so we have F normal force on the ladder in upward direction and weight of the body along y-axis in downward direction. So because both are opposite in direction, so Fn minus W is equals to 0, so we get Fn is equals to W. As we know that W is weight of the ladder, that is equals to 120 Newton. Let's say it equation number 2. Now according to second condition of equilibrium, summation of torque is equals to 0. Summation of clockwise movement is equals to summation of anti-clockwise movement. Here clockwise movement is at this point tau 2 and clockwise movement is tau 2 and anti-clockwise movement is tau 1. So summation of tau 1 plus tau 2 is equals to 0. Tau 1 is R cross F. Here moment arm R is BD and F is force of wall on this ladder. And tau 2 is equals to moment arm into force. Moment arm is A to E and force is W. So we get AE into W is equals to 0. We have taken clockwise torque as negative and anti-clockwise torque as positive. Let's say equation number 3. From triangle ABD, from triangle A, B and D, AB sin theta is equals to BD. Here we have used formula of sin theta is equals to perpendicular divided by hypotenuse on this triangle ABD. Perpendicular is BD and hypotenuse is AB. So from there we get AB sine theta is equal to BD. From triangle ACE, we get AC cos theta is equals to AE by applying the formula of cos theta on triangle ACE. Because we know that cos theta is equals to base upon hypotenuse. Here base is AE and hypotenuse is AC. So from this we get AC cos theta is equals to AE. Putting values in equation number 3, we get AB sine theta into F wall minus AC cos theta into W weight of the ladder is equals to 0. As we know that AB is length of the ladder, that is given as 4 meter. So by putting AB is equals to 4 meter and theta is 70 degree and AC is this distance, that is half of AB. So AB is 4, AC must be equals to 2, AC is equals to 2, putting theta is 70 degree and weight of the ladder 120 degree. By solving we get FW, force of wall onto the ladder. FW is equals to 22 Newton. Now the reaction of ground is given by resultant force is equals to square root F horizontal square plus F normal square. Putting the values of F horizontal force and F normal force, and by solving we get, actually here FW is equals to F horizontal, that is equals to 22 Newton, and by solving we get our resultant force is equals to 122 Newton. Question. The 450 kg uniform iron beam supports the load of 220 kg as shown in figure. Determine the reactions at supports RA and RB. According to first condition of equilibrium, summation of forces is equals to 0. Summation of forces along y-axis, positive y-axis are RA and RB, and along negative y-axis are weight of the load and weight of the beam. So weight of the load is 220 into G, that is 9.8. Weight of the beam is 450 into G, that is 9.8. Let's say it equation number 1. According to second condition of equilibrium, summation of torque is equals to 0. So summation sigma tau is equals to 0. Sum of clockwise movements is equals to sum of anti-clockwise movements. We are taking here RA as pivot point, and from here we can get summation of sum of clockwise movements, that is equals to sum of anti-clockwise movements. At point RB, moment is RB into R. RB is reaction force into R. R is moment R. And for uniform B, we have torque moment MC into G, that is weight of the uniform beam, into RC, that is moment arm, and we have torque for this load M1 into G into R1. M1G is weight of the load and R1 is moment arm. Putting the values and after solving we get RB is equals to 3714 Newton. Let's say it equation number 2. Putting value of RB in equation number 1, here we get RA is equals to 2852 Newton. Conceptual questions. Question. Is it possible to add three vectors of equal magnitude but different directions to get a null vector? Illustrate with a diagram. We have vector A and another vector B. We can add this according to head to tail rule, and we have another vector C we can add these vectors according to head to tail rule. If the three vectors are represented by the sides of a triangle joined by head to tail rule, their sum is 0, as there is no space to draw a resultant vector. So resultant will be a null vector. Question: can a scalar product of two vectors be negative? Provide a proof and give example. Solution: if the angle between A and B are greater than 90 degrees, the dot product will be negative, less than 0, as cos theta will be negative and the vector lengths are always positive values. For example, in this calculation, we have work done is equals to F dot R, that is equals to Fr cos theta, putting the value of F as 12 Newton and R as 2 meter and theta as 180 degree. We get work done is equals to minus 24 Newton into meter. That is equals to work done is equals to minus 24 joules. Question: why a particle experiencing only one force cannot be in equilibrium? No vector cancels itself. The same is true for forces because they also follow vector rules. Thus, an object under the effect of a single non-zero force will have a non-zero acceleration and will not be in equilibrium. Question: explain the warning, never use a large wrench to tighten a small bolt. The wrench is a lever, so the longer the lever, the more force you get. The more force, the greater the risk of breaking the bolt. That's the simple short answer. Question: suppose you are given a non-zero vector A, the scalar product of A with unknown vector B is 0. Likewise, the vector product of A and B is 0. What can you conclude about B? Solution: if A is a non-zero vector and dot product of A and B, A dot B is equals to 0, then we conclude that either A and B are perpendicular to each other or B is a null vector, as A is a non-zero vector. So if A cannot be a zero vector, so B may be a null vector, or they both are perpendicular to each other because cos 90 is equals to 0, A dot B is equals to AB cos theta. By putting theta is equals to 90 degree, we get cos 90 equals to 0 and A dot B is equals to AB into 0. That gives us A dot B is equals to 0 in case when both are perpendicular to each other. So we get A dot B is equals to 0 when A dot B is equals to 0 when A and B are perpendicular to each other or B is a null vector. Also, A cross B is equal to 0 is possible if the magnitude of vector B is equal to 0 and not possible if angle between them is 90 degree, because A cross B is equals to AB sine theta. So by putting theta is equal to 0, we can get A cross B is equal to 0 when A and B are parallel to each other. So in case when B is 0, we can get A cross B is equal to 0. Hence, it is concluded that B is a null vector.